Welcome back with another episode of Articulate Homegirls. This week we have a special guest. Jade isn't here, but I do have Chelsea, the kitchen dealer, with us. And Chelsea is a personal cook. Thank you so much for coming out as a guest today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's nice to be here.
Yeah.
It's nice to see everybody. You know, it's been a while, but it's good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's crazy that we got to link up in this setting from where we started.
With the aprons on.
Yeah.
And the all black on serving and,
Yeah,
different.
Definitely. Working at, when we met at a restaurant, we were like kids. Like, that was like 8 years ago, which is crazy. So I love that you actually are still like in the food industry, but just for yourself. So how did you like get started about that? Like, tell us a little bit about your brand.
So, the Dealerz kitchen, it just originated from me not only wanting to add that extra spice into culinary, but adding that feminine flair, that feminine energy.
Yeah.
I grew up from parents who were raised in the South, good country Southern meals, good home cooked food. So I grew up around food. So it wasn't anything that I was kind of like shy of, but to always, have that in the back of your mind, like I got to do something, but add that creative touch to it. It's just something that kind of came together and I just kind of just let it flourish.
You can tell though, like from your aesthetic, the way everything comes together and me knowing you personally, you can tell that it's you. That's my favorite part is that it's so authentic and genuine and raw. Like everything you do, I could see you in it. And I love that because I feel like you've always been artistic. Yeah. And that's my favorite part about it is when I look at the food, I'm like, I gotta try this.
So. I think the main thing, I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
So that eye, catching the eye, those visual aesthetics are really big to me.
Yeah.
It comes natural, but it's still so big. I could shoot a dish or a plate 1,000 times, but it'll just be that one picture that I'm like, okay, I'll take this, and it'll be the first picture that I took half of the time. But it's food, mixing that creative, that kind of like, oh, I think I'm add a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It helps it bring all together, the vision together.
Definitely. I could tell. It's definitely you on a plate, like every time I look at anything. And like when I tell people about your food and stuff, because like your food is the most appealing, like the way everything is set up on your Instagram, it's hard for me to kind of like describe what kind of cuisine you do because it's diverse. So I just say she makes sexy food. She makes sexy food.
That's a good title, though.
Yeah.
That's a good title. I like that.
That's how I feel about it. It's just sexy. Like, it's just the way it looks, the way you do everything with the camera, and then the types of food that you make. What would you say, like, your favorite? Like, how did you come to making this food, like, so sexy? Like,
well, 9 times out of 10, and especially women.
Yeah.
When women cook, we cook with a lot of love and we cook with a lot of purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with us, and especially now, everybody's in their own relationships or, single or whatsoever, but everything now is based on love.
Yeah.
So putting that passion into it and then making it look good and taste good and, whoever it is you have at home, I have those cooking for babe type styles, just for you to go home and, cook something special, have a good night. Everybody knows food is the heart and the soul of whatever you do. Yeah. It's you can't shy away from it. And especially when you have a woman that's cooking it and then it tastes good and then it looks good. So it's like, woo, it just adds that extra kind of like you said, sex appeal.
Yeah. The combination, like if everyone needs to check out her page because there's no doubt that you're bringing like the femininity, like you said, the sex appeal, like just for that all coming together. It's like the perfect combination. So yeah, I think that all that's great. And just to see like with us actually knowing each other for so long, just to see how far you've come, like what obstacles, like how did you get to where you're at? Like what did you have to go through?
Well, I am a scatterbrain. I can't say that. I can't sit here and say, it sounds good. I can say, oh, I didn't have any obstacles. I just had this. I'm a scatterbrain. Yeah. So, having to balance, that's been my major obstacle with this is just having that balance of, okay, do you want to do this or do you want to do this? Do you want to, come about it this way? Do you want to, add this, add that? Do you want to cook hibachi? Do you want to cook breakfast? Do you want to cook seafood? It's in this field. That's where I feel like the obstacles come, is that it's so many outlets and so many arenas you can get into that being able to balance and being able to kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna stick with this and just ride it on out and just do it until it gets kind of boosted and the people begin to love it and everything. But that's been the main thing I would say, is being that scatterbrain. And then of course motherhood, I wouldn't say an obstacle, but I would definitely say, by me having my first child and that switch up and then adding, work on top of it too, that's a whole nother beast in itself. So I definitely feel like, those are the main obstacles that I've came across with doing everything so far.
So I think that's crazy that you're even talking about balancing all of those things. Like being a mother, that's a full-time job. Then like you said, you're working, that's a full-time job. Having your business, that's a full-time job. What, like, for other people who want to get into it, like when they're in that situation, they might feel like, damn, it's intimidating. I can't follow my dreams because with what time, with what energy,
You have to find something that is going to continue to fuel you.
Yeah.
I can tell people, you stick to it, if it's your goal, right? The cliche form of what people will tell you that are entrepreneurs. But I find myself, sometimes being like, oh my God, I got to do this, I got to do that. I'm tired. It's time to go to bed. It's time to put the kid to bed. But, you just look, and sometimes I get on the phone and just look through my notes. Look through stuff that I've written out as far as like goals and stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, let me get up. Let me quit playing. It's just that instant fuel for me to go back and look at some of the stuff that I've done and some of the stuff that I want to do. And it's like, you ain't going to be able to do that working a 9 to 5. You ain't going to be able to do that being at home, being a mom. You can do it. Don't get me wrong. And there's nothing against that. But when you are a person that's a firm believer in what you got going on, it's hard for you to rest at night and be like, oh, I'm going to just sleep it out. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it next week.
It's not going to get done if you do that.
It eats your brain. It eats your brain. People can tell you all the time, oh, you take your time, But I don't believe in take your time. Taking your time, of course, take your time. Don't rush it, but taking time is just time being wasted.
Yeah, so it's a difference between procrastinating and perfecting something.
Yes.
So I definitely understand, don't launch something before it's ready. If it's not a good product, don't put out something that's bad quality. But at the same time, don't do nothing. So no, I think that's really sound advice. So essentially, like any women who can relate to that, like having all those things to do, definitely just what I'm hearing from you is like, if you believe in yourself and you want to accomplish something, you got to just do it. That's what I'm saying.
And it's not nothing. I've seen podcasts, I've read books, I've been to seminars, I've met with mentors. They can give you all of the advice. They can give you the blueprint. They can give you everything. But if you don't have the gas, your car is still parked.
Exactly. I like that.
That's just, it is what it is. It's, you can have all of the ideas. You can have everything. And that was another thing, that just launching the kitchenware portion of my brand, that was something that I had to revamp and get out of. Okay, you've been doing some catering, you've been doing, some small work with your business. What's something to where you can get into these people's households? You have to, that's why I say, looking back through those notes, looking back at some of the stuff that you do, you got to have your own fuel. You got to.
So about the kitchenware, could you tell us a little bit about that? Because you're introducing stuff for the kitchen, and I know what kind of, I already can imagine what kind of stuff this is, but I want to just, for you to tell us, what, it sounds like this kitchen line means a lot to you, so.
Yeah, it does, and I guess always coming from the editorial standpoint now. When I was growing up, I was a real big timer on magazines. I love magazines. I loved it, the subscriptions, all of that whole setup. So, like I said, firm time believer in magazines, loved them. But being a household name was something that was big to me.
Yeah.
Being inside of people's kitchen cabinets, kitchenware, everything is. I had to figure out how to get in it, and so I said, okay, do some glasses, do some silverware, do some, some charcuterie boards, do some nice stuff, something simple,
tasteful.
Yeah, because everybody's not into pots and pans. I could love pots and pans, you know what I mean? But ain't nobody gonna lust over a pot and pan like how I'm gonna lust over it, That's just it is. That's so you,
yeah, really.
So I say, okay, everybody loves drinks. Everybody loves cocktails. It could be, virgin cocktails or however you want to put it. But everybody loves, and you got to eat silverware. I mean, not eat silverware, but you got to have silverware. Mm-hmm. So definitely the Dealerz Kitchen coming up with household necessities.
Yeah.
I have glassware, I have silverware, I have sugars, I have teas, I have vintage 101s. Those are pieces that I find everywhere, and just kind of just have it set up to where you can put those creative pieces in your home for the people.
Nice.
For the people who do like the knickknacks.
Nice.
Like, nice. I have fly.
So there'll be your eye that finds these things so that they can have it, so they don't have to find it.
Yes.
That's beautiful, because I've said this a lot of times, I know. But, like, the way you, like, capture things is just, like, me, I'm not that kind of person. Like, and so to have somebody, I can trust you and know that I'm going to have, it's going to be fly in my house because it came from the Dealerz Kitchen. So I think that's great. I love that for you. I think that's awesome. We going to get some pieces here. We're going to get some pieces.
Yeah, so. It's not pieces like I have everyday pieces too.
Right.
It's everybody, like I said, is not going to lust over the silverware, the glasses like that. So I have mini glasses, tall glasses, cereal bowls. Nice. For the people who don't cook breakfast in the morning, they just want a bowl of cereal. But you want to be cute. Or you want to be, however you want to put it, you just want it to be fly.
Well, everyone is capturing moments of their lives now. So, like, whether you're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and stuff like that, people want things that look good and aesthetically pleasing anyway for just regular moments in their life. Yeah. So, I think this is a really good concept, honestly. And it's perfect timing, so.
And now everything is so designer.
Yeah.
So high-end, so luxury. You know what I mean? I want looks this. I want it to look like this, look like that. And that's even now, with some of the homes that people see. You got fancy this, fancy that. So that's why the Dealerz Kitchen, of course, is just designer for your kitchen. Yeah. It's that designer. It's that looks. It's that
dressing it up.
Yeah.
Dressing your kitchen up. I love that. I think that's great. I think that's excellent. And for anyone that is looking to find some of these sexy pieces, we're going to put all of her stuff in the description. So if you're on Instagram, we'll tag her. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can go ahead and look in the description box so that you can order your stuff and you can go ahead and support, okay? So, but, something that I noticed recently that I'm seeing a lot of popularity in is the fact that women, they don't want to cook anymore. They're like, I don't cook, I don't clean, like the Cardi B line, and that went viral, and a lot of people like resonated with that. So why do you think that is, that women are like leaning more towards the I'm not trying to cook and do all this cleaning attitude?
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Just like I said, I could love to cook.
Right.
I could love to make the kitchen look like, but it's a lot of work. Yeah. Sometimes when I do catering events and sometimes when I do, even the intimate dining stuff, it's a lot of work. You have to want to do it. Yeah. And if I wasn't a cook, if I wasn't, into kitchenware and stuff like that, I would be the same way. And I'm being honest. Because you have to want, and especially for the women who are mothers. Right. For the women who work all the way around the clock, 12-hour shifts plus. The women who, actually have things to do throughout the day. Coming home to cook is the last thing.
It really is. It became a luxury at this point. Yeah. Because it's so much work.
Yeah, and that's where I come in, for the private catering.
Exactly. Exactly. So they don't have to cook. Yeah. So I think that's awesome, because I think more people now are using their money to leverage their time. Yeah. And so if they can go ahead and hire a service to give them that experience.
Now, how many people are doing meal preps? How many people are doing subscription meals? How many people are, just kind of like, oh, I'm going to plan this out. I'm going to cook this day, cook that day. You have to be strategic with that. And for some women, it's not. They don't have the interest for it.
They don't have the interest or the time, to be honest. And I know especially honestly in the pandemic, I have seen a lot more private caterings. A lot more people are having people come to their house, and cook for them. Instead of like going out to restaurants with large groups, I guess probably because of some of the restrictions, but it's also just makes for a better experience, honestly.
It's one of those things to where you have to look at now the pandemic has turned everybody to being intimate and being at home.
Right.
And so now it's like, oh, I'm going to get a private chef, so we won't have to worry about the long lines, the wait, the people, the coughs.
Definitely the coughs.
Yeah, the coughs. Because now it's really done something to me because I'll go to a restaurant. I'm really big on sanitation.
Right.
I am really big on sanitation. For one, this is the food that we eat. Yep. The quality of the food is very imperative to me. So it's one of those things to where you want to cook at home.
Exactly.
I don't really have a choice no more. If I'm going out to eat, I have to have been to that restaurant maybe 3 to 4 times that month already.
Yeah.
And that sanitation score is definitely over a 98 or a 97. So it's one of those things where you got to kind of get in where you fit in.
The weird thing about the pandemic is like we're just doing things now that we should have been doing, and that's really weird. Today, I don't know if was it today I was eating? I'm not sure. Maybe it was last night. I went out and got some food, and the man was talking to me, not directly over my food, but he was talking to me.
Yeah.
He had on a mask, which was great. I felt much more comfortable with him talking to me around my food. Before that, they was just talking around the food.
It makes you, don't it make you think? And especially with us, us being, coming from where we met at a restaurant, knowing some of the things behind the scenes, knowing some of the stuff behind the scenes, that'll scar you too. So you kind of got to think, it's kind of traumatizing, but then it's like, ooh, this might could work out.
Yeah.
The new norm ain't too bad.
It's not. It's really not.
It's not too bad.
Some bad things happen.
Yeah.
Some bad things happen. But, some really good things came out of it. Yeah. Definitely with the sanitation, like you're saying. Mm-hmm. Definitely having, businesses where, you can thrive in areas where people kind of thought, oh, maybe that's like not a necessary expense.
Yeah.
Now they're seeing the value and having that experience at their home, Yeah.
It's one of those things to where you can have a chef come, you can have entertainment in your home.
Right.
You don't have to put clothes on. You don't gotta rush.
Right.
You know the food is good. So yeah, it's definitely financially for a lot of people. It was some strains in some areas. Yeah. But for some people who realized what it was and adjusted, it's been great.
Yeah.
Minus the COVID part.
Yeah. So, I definitely understand. Like you said, like with COVID and everything, it's been great, especially for people who, can afford that luxury or have, just enjoy that atmosphere or that comfort. But I know, like, obviously, like every day people can't have the dealer come bless them. What do you think could, make it easier for the people who are, the working moms and, everyday normal to really,
keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. I sometimes, my food may look like, woo, girl,
it does.
I don't know about that if I'm going to be able to execute that, but it's sometimes for, my boyfriend, I'll make him BLTs and home fries.
Yeah.
Breakfast sandwiches, pancakes.
Yeah.
Stuff that's quick, but stuff that's still, just good and warm.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you think you have to cook a whole chicken, a steak, or, blase, but you could just make a sandwich with some bag fries and just put some seasoning on there and put a little bit of Parmesan, dress it up, and you good to go. You don't have to necessarily think too hard about it. I think when some women they're getting ready to cook and they're like,
yeah,
oh, shit, I gotta prep.
Yeah,
I gotta go get this. Oh, where is this at? I can't find this. And especially if you're not a grocery store person,
right?
Oh, that's where some people
stressful. Stressful.
I'm telling you, I've been to grocery stores 50 million times, and I could see it in the grocery store. Can you help me find this? I need this. Or have you seen this? I can hear them just talking to the sales associates. But it's just one of those things, just keep it simple.
Yeah, so less is more.
Yeah, it is. It is. And your significant other, your hubby, your friends, or whoever, they'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
They will appreciate it. Sometimes when your mom used to make you sandwiches when you come home from school, or just make you little, oh, my mom used to make cheese toast, or oh, my mom used to make me these little sandwiches like
that
this.
Is so true though.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to you, mom, if you watching, because my mom used to, when I came home from school, my mom used to make little snacks and stuff like that, little sandwiches, like you're saying, cheese stuff. Bread, like you're saying, and it really, honestly, it does. Look, I'm grown now, and I remember that. So, like you're saying, I think that's really good advice.
Yeah.
So, what is something that the viewers that they can make for their significant other?
Well, I don't want to set anybody up with going home and making this extravagant dish, and they're like, oh, well, the Dealerz Kitchen said that I could make this one be simple and easy. No, but I think French toast.
Yeah, that's good. That's the day you're supposed to put love in it, though.
That's French toast. And not the French toast, the whoever is cooking.
Yeah.
Not the French toast with the sliced bread.
Yeah.
Go and find you some French toast bread. If you want it, some people call it challah, challah, however you want to do it. The cute bread with the rolls in it. Find you the whole brioche loaves and make you some good French toast. Top some ice cream on it. Top your favorite desserts on there. And it's sexy, too. It's warm and it's bread.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with warm, sweet bread. You can't go wrong with peaches. You can't go wrong with strawberries, fruits, and whipped creams, and ice cream, and icing. You can't go wrong with that.
Can't.
Eat simple, easy recipe. Milk, eggs, vanilla, cinnamon, sugar, whatever you want to put.
Stuff sometimes people have in their home anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. So they don't have to have that grocery store anxiety.
Yeah.
So
something quick, something simple, something easy. Still tastes good.
Yeah.
Look good. Fill you up. And you don't have to worry about, oh, my steak didn't turn out right. Oh, my chicken didn't turn out right. Oh, my fish, my shrimp, and
French toast is great.
Pair it with some wings. Pair it with some bacon. Pair it with some sausage. If you are vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, or whatsoever, your choice of whatever, French toast is the go-to.
Well, we are going to try this French toast today, and I love that for me. So you guys will get to see it. Chelsea is gonna make some for us. I don't have the sexy dealer kitchen, but I got a little something back there. So that's awesome. I'm really excited, and we are gonna also put the ingredients in the recipe below. This looks really good. This looks so beautiful.
Okay, yeah. So what I want to show you, something quick and simple, like we talked about as far as French toast. This is what I was saying, the cute bread. Yeah, this is the cute bread, challah bread, challah bread, however you want to put it, the cute bread with the bumps in it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is just start off with the batter. It doesn't take long. It's not anything that's kind of, it's not anything that's rocket science. So we'll just put this, just a little bit of batter, maybe probably like a cup and a half, just a little bit. It depends on how you like your French toast. Some people like their French toast with a lot of eggs in it where you can kind of taste it. Some people don't. I'm not an egg person, but
So if anyone is deciding to do this on their own, they have to just assess. If they want something that has that eggy texture, then they might want to put less milk, more eggs, right? Okay, so if somebody wants like a smoother texture, then
yep. So that's just. So the key thing to this, and especially with any French toast that you make sure that you have your bread sitting out so we can kind of dry out and get a little bit stiff.
Oh, okay.
The reason why sometimes when we have French toast and it's kind of like mushy, I think the batter was too thick and the bread was too soft. So even if you have this nice pretty loaf, even if you feel like, oh, you know, this is going to be stiff and hard bread, it's very, very soft on the inside, especially when the heat hits it. It's that like, ooh.
That's good
and
to know.
Then it comes ooey gooey. So have your bread sitting out. 3 eggs. Doesn't really matter if you like brown eggs, white eggs. No big difference. Put your 3 eggs in a batter. Take a little bit of cinnamon, just to have a little bit of taste. A little bit of vanilla. Now, the vanilla portion, to me, it does help a little bit, but I've made recipes where I didn't use vanilla and I just used sugar.
Okay.
So
if you're at home and you don't have vanilla, just use sugar. That's good.
The only thing that makes it, the vanilla just makes it sweet.
Okay.
So just making sure, you know, stirring it better. Once it starts to foam up, you already know it's getting ready.
Yeah, I loved what you had to say about the bread with the mushiness. As somebody who's made mushy French toast before, look at me exposing myself out here.
Yeah, you got exposed.
So, as someone who's made the mushy French toast before, I think that's I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
that's why I grew up off of sliced bread French toast.
Right.
There's no shame in the game. You know, my mama didn't go get holla cholla.
Yeah.
We had sliced French toast. It was good, but it was mushy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I can't.
She had the taste. She had the texture.
Yeah, mama, your French toast was good.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's some enhancements that's needed. So I'm gonna set the batter to the side. Let your batter kind of sit.
Okay.
Take your bread. This is another important step too. This what I have on this plate. I'm gonna set this over here. This right here. So this what I have is cornflakes. With the peach cobbler skillet French toast, you want that crunchy, crispy, not too crispy, but you need that thickness, consistency as if you were making a peach cobbler.
Okay.
So take a challah, cube bread, slice it.
Oh, that's beautiful. That looks good.
You know, you don't have to make it big. You don't have to make it thin. I usually cut my ends off.
Okay.
Just to save that little piece. And I usually give this piece to my daughter. She likes that little end piece, that little bump piece. But cut it, slice it. We'll do 3. This is very important.
Okay.
Season your bread.
Okay.
Season.
I have not done that before.
Yeah, season. You really want to season your bread. Not a lot, because I mean, you don't want to overboard on cinnamon. But just season it, because people miss that important step when you have French toast, and especially bread this thick. You want to taste it. You want to taste the sweetness. You want to taste that. What is that? You want that flavor all the way down to it. This is very, 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 very imperative.
Well, you are dropping gems over here. That's good. I've never even thought to do that. I don't know. Maybe. See, I'm exposing myself again. People are going to be like, Jade C can't cook. She can't cook. This is why I had her come here, okay? Because there's some of y'all out there like me. So, I think that's great.
So, we seasoned our bread. We can go ahead and, like I said, the bread is split open.
Okay.
Cornflakes for the batter. You can use any type of base. You can use graham crackers. You can use, I've even tried it personally when I'm not with the peach cobbler French toast. I've used Oreos, golden Oreos, and I've used Teddy Grahams.
Wow,
Grahams. So just those cookies, the vanilla tasting cookies that you like, or any type of cookie that you like, can crunch them down, cereal whatsoever. But these are the cornflakes. So we'll go ahead. The peaches already washed. 3 peaches for this. I'm not a slice them, dice them, do all of that, because everybody's not slice and dice them.
Exactly.
Take your peaches, you know, you got the little hard spot on the inside. Yes, I still leave the skin on it because the skin is going to cook. It is okay. So take them, cut it. The peach should look like this. Cut around that little thing in the inside. That little scary thing. Just kind of just.
Are there any specific peaches that you usually get?
Well, like I said, my family is from South Carolina. So those South Carolina peaches, you don't have to. I love a big juicy peach. Since peaches are not in season right now, so you're gonna find the little small ones. You won't find them like the big juicy South Carolina peaches.
Okay, so don't beat yourself up if you have to get regular peaches.
Yeah.
If you gotta get North Carolina peaches, it's okay.
It's all right. But like I said, cut around it. And I'll even are you a big cutter?
We can find out.
Okay, let's see. Slice you. Like
okay, let's see if I can do it here. That'll be the real test. All right, so.
Because people think, you gotta cut it like this to make it look good.
Right.
You gotta dice them like this to make it look good. That's why I say food is so much fun. You don't have to be so 5-star Michelin chef with cutting skills.
Does it look like she said, y'all? I redeem myself.
Like I said, good and easy, and then take your halves.
But I like that you said that it can be however. Because sometimes people feel like, oh, well, if I don't cut this perfectly, they get nervous.
It don't look like that, yeah. And then, because if I told you I sat up here and I cut this peach up, skinned it down, and diced it up, and you're like, I'm not doing all that. I'm not making that. This was quick and easy. We just pressed 3 peaches down, just a little bit of fresh peaches, only because we didn't want it. We want that peach taste.
And I love that we can keep the skin on. I think that's a huge deterrent to people when they feel like they're going to have to skin those peaches.
Yeah.
So I love this.
It softens up, and once you get to mixing it with the ice cream, and once you get to... Some people don't like the skin. I'm telling you, it's going to be somebody that's like, why they should leave the skin on those peaches? And it's because I like to make cooking simple for women and simple for anybody. It's not just when you come home or when you wake up in the morning, you ain't thinking about skinning no peaches to make no French toast. You want peach cobbler French toast,
but you don't want to do the work for it. So this is good that it's quick, it's simple.
Yeah.
What is something that you feel like, when people are making something simple can improve any meal or elevate any meal?
2 things.
Okay.
People may think this is, I don't know about that, but get a cast iron. Invest in a cast iron.
Okay.
You can find cast iron Home Goods. You can find cast iron at the lodge. You can find cast iron on Amazon or anywhere. Find you a cast iron seasoning and let that be your friend.
Okay.
Cast iron cooking is not as hard as people make it seem. I gotta season it, he gotta do all that. No, once you season that bad boy and actually learn how to treat your cast iron, it's a breeze. But that, and then also, don't be afraid of a little bit of butter.
Okay.
Don't be afraid of it. If you are, vegan, or if you
not whispering vegan, y'all. Y'all
hear this? No offense, but if you are, you're not thinking like butter. I'm not using that's fattening. If you're watching your weight, they got all different types of butters that you can use. It's a butter for everybody.
There is a butter for everybody.
Get you some butter, the butter that fits you, and butter it up. Not butter it up, but just add a little bit of butter. Sometimes it'll go a long way. So take your bread. Your bread should be about ready. Dip it. I know you noticed I was kind of just whipping it a little bit. So I'm gonna take a little bit of butter before we do it. Your cast iron doesn't have to be too hot. You don't want it to burn. Kind of make sure that the butter is in there good. Take your first piece. So 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Just kind of take a peek at it and make sure, you don't want it to burn. Because like I said, with the cast iron pan, it can be your best friend, but it can also be an enemy. And I stuffed it like this in here so that way we can kind of.
It smells so good in here. It smells great. Like, I'm so excited. But I've been waiting for this all day, so. I've been waiting for this moment. And it just, honestly, when I do it, it doesn't look like this. So, what I really want to know is, and you know, even when I try to take pictures of the food, I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but even when I try to take pictures of the food, it just doesn't, even if it looks beautiful in real life, it does not look like that on camera. What, do you have any tips? Can you share a secret as to how we can make our food look as good as it looks in person in camera? I mean, maybe my food don't look as good as I think on person and the camera is just telling me the truth, but you know, for people whose food does look good.
It's color.
Okay.
And it's lighting.
Okay.
It's color and it's lighting. Definitely, everybody doesn't have good lighting.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can kind of, but I've shot stuff, surprisingly, with the flashlight on my phone. And then with my, you know, other phone, of course. And then just giving it that effect, but also color.
Okay.
Add color to the plate. Play with your colors the same way as if, you know, you took a picture and had on a lime green dress. People are going to remember you having on that lime green dress.
Right.
People will remember if you had those greens on that plate next to XYZZYX. So, definitely color. So, let your peaches cook down for probably about 5 minutes. You want them to soften up. Peaches are still kind of hard. You want them to where they kind of just fold onto the bread.
So, don't take my black card away, y'all, but I just had peach cobbler for the first time last year. And, and it was so good because honestly, I don't like pie. Yeah. So, but you know, as you get older, your taste buds change. Mm-hmm. So I just thought I never liked pie this whole time.
So I'm going to tell you something that's funny. I don't like peach cobbler pie. Okay. I like peach cobbler French toast. Okay. And only because I'm a consistency person too. Right. So just having that, yeah. So, you know, we can't take that away.
Okay, I can keep it. Thank you.
Sure can. So you see your peaches, they're sizzling a little bit, they're cooking down, they're getting soft, and you can kind of just press on them a little bit. Another imperative part, take your French toast back. Okay. And I'll set this spoon right here. Take your French toast back, put your French toast back into the skillet. Okay. And
what's the reason why we're doing that?
Because you want that butter, you want that brown sugar, you want those peaches and that juice to kind of just coat it on each side. Okay. So it can have that, if you don't have access to anything that could make it peachier as far as like a sugar or anything like that, this can help. So just like
that. So don't skip that step, that's very important.
Yeah, when making this. Yes. So just kind of get it. And then your peaches, if you flip it over and peaches is on there, that's okay too. It's just a coat. And then the good thing about this is that your bread is thick, so it's going to be hard to get it soggy. You know how when you taste peach cobbler? Right. And it's that juiciness. This is this is the fluffy juice, pretty much. So take this, turn it up. Make sure both sides is good. Let's put this last side. Alright. So that's good. Turn your heat down. Still let it have the sizzle. Because you know sometimes when you get them desserts. People love when desserts make noise.
I do. I was thinking that. I was like, it sounds good, it looks good, it smells good. It's for your senses, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So, you see how we have our peaches right here. We turned our heat down. It's still cooking at the bottom, so it can kind of harden up. Turn your heat down a little bit low. Get your ice cream. So we see how that is looking. Take your ice cream. And then it just depends on the type of person. I leave mine in the skillet because it's a French toast skillet. So I'll just take you a little scoop.
That spoon is beautiful. Do you sell this in your line?
Yes, this is the Dealerz Kitchen spoon. It comes in the Origo flatware set. Very heavy weighted spoon. Turn that down. So yeah, very heavy weighted. Stick your ice cream on there. And you don't have to have, like I said, the fancy scoop and all of that good stuff. Get it to where it's warm. Matter of fact,
honestly, like even if maybe you're not a breakfast person, this would be a good like nighttime dessert, honestly.
Oh, yes.
You don't have to do as big pieces. You can, you know, make one piece, share it, or cut it in half or something like that. But this is a really good dessert, it looks like, as well.
So we want to take that. And just a little bit of our fresh peaches up there. It doesn't have to be a lot. So you can still kind of have that. Ooh. And then I always firm believer in the mint. Like I said earlier, how you make your dishes look good. Color. So we'll just stick that right there. And the peach cobbler.
Look at that. Can we get a close up on this here? It's sexy, like I said.
And you have your spoon right there to dig in. With your fork person, knife person. You know, just take up a little. Okay. And this is a very intimate meal too. You know, once the thing it cools down, and you know you or whoever share this dessert could probably do about 3 to 4 people. Just on tops, you know, and a little bit more than that. You could slice these loaves in half. They don't have to be this big, and it doesn't have to look like this.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, but it's still an easy thing to make.
It's honestly so versatile. Like you said, you can have it for brunch. You can have it for dessert. Mm-hmm. Just because it's so beautiful, it's sexy. The flavors are good. Like it smells amazing. You gonna impress anybody with this. Know that. Know that. Okay, I'm so excited to try this. Here we go. It's sweet. It's amazing because you didn't use any syrup. It's really sweet. It has a syrup flavor, but it's not like the, you know, cloyingly sweet where it's like over sweet. It's like
so
a mature. It's a mature sweetness.
That's another thing. I try not to use it in a lot of my breakfast stuff. Syrup can make anything sweet. Like really just woo.
It's really good. I like how it's crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside, but not mushy like you said. Definitely full of flavor. I can taste every ingredient that you used. That's really good. So you got my wheels turning to how we can get you to come back. What services do you offer if somebody else wanted to have you come to their house? I know you said before that you do catering, that you call yourself a personal cook. So what can they call you for?
Right now, just with everything as far as the pandemic and, you know, not being able to be around those large parties, I'm doing more so intimate dining. You can reach out to the website, thedealerskitchen.com. No E in the kitchen.
Okay.
So thedealerskitchen.com, and just you can book your services there. Prefix menus, no parties bigger than 25. You know, just something small and intimate, so that way, you know, I can really have that personal time. Personal cooking. If you need it in your home, if you need meal prepping and all of that good stuff, then I'm there for them too. Well,
perfect. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it because I got to try something. Because I've been looking on Instagram, and every time I go on there, I'm looking hungry. So I'm glad I could get you to come out here and do this and make this beautiful meal. We appreciate you so much.
Happy to be here too, especially what you guys are doing. You know, having these having these women, you know, kind of looked upon in a different light on the entrepreneur aspect is really it's a good thing, because it's a lot of women now, especially with, you know, a lot of people losing their jobs from the pandemic. they're becoming these entrepreneurs. So, you know, this is good that you guys are really just opening up that light to them.
I feel like in my life, I know so many great, just dope women who are creative, who are entrepreneurs, and I want everyone else to know that too. Yeah. So Jade and I truly appreciate you coming down here and taking the time. Yes. And we are so glad. And if anybody wants to take advantage of what you've seen today and book with Chelsea, all of her information is going to be in the description box below, like we said. But thank you so much for hanging out with us today and watching it. I hope you have a great day.